This presentation is an inquiry into how public trust in government institutions is influenced, what factors cause it to fluctuate, and how these relationships can be utilized in public policy. To explore these potential relationships, methods such as reliability analysis, multivariate regression, elaboration, hierarchical regression, and controls are employed. A barometer dataset was used, and specifically the Morocco subset. Literature on the subject of trust in government institutions, as per articles by Welch, Christensen, and Iragama, suggests that political and economic stability of a state, public access to government services, and perception of economic performance tend to affect public trust in support for the institutions. The concept of public trust is combined into an index from public trust in prime minister, courts, parliament, police, and political parties. As we can see, the reliability analysis shows an alpha score well above the acceptable threshold, and individual alpha if item deleted values, with the exception of one, show that the concept would not benefit from their exclusion. The value for trust in police suggests that the overall alpha would increase, but that increase would be negligible. On the other hand, trust in police would benefit the larger concept of trust in government institutions by increasing its scope. For these reasons, trust in police will remain included in the concept. Drawing on findings from literature review, the three possible predictors chosen are opinion of political situation, accessibility of government services, and opinion of economic situation. The hypotheses are that each of these will have a positive causal relationship with trust in government institutions. While opinion of politics and economy are single indicator concepts, accessibility of government services was combined into an index from indicators measuring ease of access to identification services, school registration, medical services, help from the police, and filing complaints. Reliability analysis shows an alpha score above the acceptable threshold here, and individual alpha if item deleted values do not indicate that they should not be included. Multiple regression results give us a statistically significant equation with significant b values for all three concepts. The beta values show that the opinion of economy is the most successful at predicting trust, followed by accessibility of services and opinion of politics. But the beta values are very close, and this suggests that no one particular variable of the ones chosen for this research stands out as the greatest predictor. Tolerance values tell us that multicollinearity is not a concern here. And the adjusted R-squared indicates an explained variance of 32%, which is fairly substantive. The findings support all three hypotheses and literature. They suggest that opinion of political situation, accessibility of government services, and opinion of economic situation combined predict 32% of variance in the amount of trust people in Morocco have in their government, with the opinion of economy having the strongest causal effect. This is quite noteworthy and could carry great implications for policy. If people's opinion of the economy and politics, as well as accessibility of services, is increased, the government stands to gain the people's trust, potentially resulting in greater public support for the regime and its decisions. To expand on these findings, we now introduce two control variables, education and age. The first hypothesis is that the relationships for all three independent variables with trust in government will show replication when controlling for education. The basis for this hypothesis lies in the overall low levels of education in Morocco. Theoretically, then, education should not produce specification, but it should replicate the original relationships. The second hypothesis is that controlling for age should produce specification in the relationships between opinion of political situation, accessibility of government services, opinion of economic situation, and the level of trust in the government. Theoretically, older individuals in Morocco should be more concerned with these concepts, which would then impact their level of trust in the government institutions. Here, the age dummy variable will be people over 34. To investigate the hypothesis, a step-by-step hierarchical regression was conducted. When opinion of economy is introduced into the regression, the b-value for opinion of politics decreases by a third. This is interesting because it suggests that not only does opinion of economy have a direct effect on public trust, but it also mediates the effect of opinion of politics on trust. Conceptually, it is more likely to be an interpretation than explanation, because while opinion of economy can be antecedent of both trust and opinion of politics, this would suggest that the two do not have a relationship without it, and conceptually they should. When controlling both for education and age, none of the three independent variables b values display any notable changes. This shows replication in both cases. Apart from the value for minimal education, all other education t-test results show that they are not significantly different from the reference category, which in our case is illiterate. One would expect that participants with minimal education to be the closest to the illiterate category when compared to those with undergraduate degrees and diplomas. The B-values for education also do not appear to display any distinct pattern. People with graduate education show to have the most trust in government institutions, followed by secondary, minimal, and undergraduate. It is an unexpected finding. Similarly, age did not appear to have significant differences between younger and older categories. Finally, the regression equation models were statistically significant and tolerance values were all well above the threshold. The sample size is fairly large and allows to make generalization to the population. Here we have a diagram representing the relationship path. Since age did not prove to be a factor, it is not connected to any other concepts. So hypothesis 3 was correct and hypothesis 4 was incorrect. We have learned that controlling for education and age does not affect the relationships between opinion of politics, accessibility of government services, opinion of economy, and trust in government institutions. Opinion of economy is the strongest predictor of trust, however by a small margin. It also mediates the relationship between opinion of politics and trust. Additionally, while education appears to influence trust, there is no observable pattern. One of the possible applications of these findings is that governments seeking to gain public trust, particularly those in Arab states, should focus on establishing economically and politically stable situation, as well as improve the accessibility and scope of government services available to the public. Opinion of economy appears to mediate the influence of opinion of politics, hence establishing good economy should be a priority. Since education and age do not appear to bear any effect, resources need not be allocated to targeting education and age groups and lobbying for trust. These findings may also be useful for stabilizing Arab Spring states. Some of the directions for further research include gender comparisons, as this data was unavailable, additional, more detailed surveys exploring the topics of trust and opinion of economy, comparisons between states, and qualitative research. Thank you.